Hey Thornton Choir, it's Miss McCormick, and today we're going to review our solfege syllables in the major scale and how they apply to the written warm-up that has been assigned to you on Google Classroom. Let's get started. So as you probably recall from when we had actual class about a month and a half ago, we did our vocal warm-ups at the beginning of class, and we always ended it with our major scale. And the major scale had 7 solfege syllables accompanied by 7 hand symbols that we did. So if I were to start on the first one, which is do, I have a fist, but I'm going to put it right where my belly button is, and I'm going to hold mine a little higher so you can see. So if we started on do, we had 7 syllables that went upwards. I'll show you what that sounds like. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Once we get to do, we added a high re because the do is repeating from down here. So we went do, re, do. Once we get back to do, we start going back down. Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Then at our low do, we go down to ti. Do, ti, do. So while we said a whole bunch of syllables, we really only said 7 different ones. They apply into the major scale that we use in our written warm-ups. So let's take a look at that. So here I am on the Google Classroom page, and if you don't know how to get onto here, go look at my video from last week where I explained how to log into Google Classroom. I'm currently on the Varsity Treble Choir page. My setup looks a little different from yours right now because I am a teacher for this class and not a student. But if you go to the stream of your class, you should definitely see a question that Mr. Reese posted that is due on Thursday, and it should look something like this. There's a written warm-up similar to what you do in class, so I'm going to go and take a look. Here's what I'm going to notice first. There is one flat in the key signature. Key signature is what tells us where do is. So if I look and see that there is one flat in this assignment, and I go back, and Mr. Reese has so kindly included our solfege charts, and I look at my solfege keys here, and I'm going to look for the one that has one flat, which is that little kind of lowercase b, half heart looking thing. And I'm going to look up here, and I notice that number 2 here has one flat. That means that every answer that I pull for my written warm-up is going to come from here. We're going to stick to this side of the page because the treble clef matches the treble clef that we have in our assignment. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to look and see where do is. If I look here, the letter D is right here. So do is going to be here on the first space. If our do is here, and we start going up like we did in that major scale, the pattern keeps on repeating. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, and then it goes up a little bit. And then if we go down, it's going in the same kind of pattern. It's the same thing. So all of our answers for this written warm-up are going to be in relationship to this do right here on the first space. Now, if I go back, take a look at what my first question is. Now, if I go to number 1, when we're trying to assign solfege to something, we start by deciding whether it's a line or a space. It's on a line if there's a line going through the note, and it's on a space if it's in between 2 lines. So if I look here, this first note is between 2 lines, so I know that it is in a space. And if I count from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, that's where we're going to be. So I'm going to go back. So if we know that our first answer is on the 4th space, we count 1, 2, 3, 4, go over here. The 4th space is associated with T. So we know that the first answer to our first question is T. Let's try another one. Line or a space? If you guess space, you're correct, and it's on the 2nd space because we count from the bottom. So 1, 2, go back, our solfege chart, it's on the 2nd space. So if we go up, 1, 2, go over, it goes to me, which is the letter M. So I know that my first 2 answers are T and me. Now, let's take a look at number 3. Number 3 has a little fang going through it. So is this on a line or a space? If you guess line, you are correct. So there is a line going through the note, so we say that the note is on a line. But it's below the staff. The staff is the lines and spaces that are above here. Since it's below it, we're going to have to look on our chart. So our answer to number 3, we know is below, and it has a line going through it. And when we see the letter S, we know that the syllable is so. So we know that our answers for the first 3 questions are T, me, and so. Once you've figured out your answers, you'll notice that there are 3 options for you to select that will count as your grade for the week. So all you have to do is turn that in, click whichever one you think is the correct one, and then you will be assigned a grade for that week. I hope this little tutorial video was helpful for some of you who may have been struggling with the written warm-up. We are taking weekly grades on this assignment. For this week, by Thursday, you need to have turned in your answer. Later on, we will be getting into other keys using other Solfege charts. So make sure you're familiar with this one so that we can move on to the other one next week. Again, I missed you all, and I love seeing all of your comments on Google Classroom and being able to answer any questions that you have. Let your parents know that they are welcome to contact us via email or on our Google voice texting or calling. All of that information is available on our faculty web pages, and we have been sending out emails regularly, so if you have not been receiving those emails, feel free to contact us also, and we will get those things to you. You guys have a great week.